Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, so as promised, we'll talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Lakers. 124-104. Minnesota got the victory at the Target Center in their home gym, and Karl Towns went for 30 points. Anthony Edwards went for 27. Real hot start from the three for him. You saw a really good game from Patrick Beverley. You know, they just really took it to a Los Angeles Lakers team that didn't really have a whole lot to offer. We, bad as usual. LeBron James had 19 points. I think it was 8 for 21 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3. We shot 20-something% from the three-point line, 69% from the free throw line, 41% from the field. You know, these are the type of things. You say, okay, they had 14 turnovers. That's about what we expect. But you cannot settle for three-point shots and then turn around and not play defense on the other end and struggle on the boards as bad as we do. We got more offensive rebounds than we did in the past several games because we played Dwight Howard a bit more, played Wenyen Gabriel more, and as a result, we were a little better on the boards, but ultimately still got out-rebounded. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it was just an abysmal evening to go along with an abysmal week and an abysmal season for this team. LeBron, you know, I just saw a lot of unsynchronized basketball being played out there tonight between him and his teammates. Russell Westbrook was struggling out there, you know, trying to get in sync and missed some terrible shots. Just a lot of air balls and breaks. Some of his worst breaks took place in this game here. Only 3 turnovers, but they were really bad turnovers, you know, loud ones, momentum-killing turnovers. But none worse than Bron's 5 turnovers. He's been turning the ball over like a madman over the last several games. So, you know, you just really think the team has just quit. I mean, let's just be real. The rotations have been consistently awful all season long, but they've gotten exceptionally worse. To be honest with you, some of the stuff we saw out there tonight was just like, I don't know what you're doing. The cold hand shot, the hot hand set. There was a lot of that nonsense going on tonight. You think about DJ Augustin and how hot he came in, and then didn't play very much. You look at Austin Reeves and how he was 3 for 4 through 3 quarters, but didn't hardly get any playing time after that. You know what I mean? You look at Stanley Johnson having attempted only 1 shot and converting on it. It's just like, you know, I know people like to get mad at Bron for looking at the stat sheet, get mad at players for looking at the stat sheet, but I think it's important that everyone be aware of the stat sheet so that you'll know during the game who's hot and who's not, and who to feed and who to kind of get away from. If you're not paying attention to those things while the game is going on, then you're going to make some of the decisions that the Lakers made tonight to feed players that were not getting it done and sitting players who could have gave them the best opportunity to score. When you're not able to score, which is what the Lakers have run into over the last several games, you have to be very, very, very keen and aware of who's able to score. Right? Because we're unable to score. So if we find players, whoever they may be, who are shooting above 50%, who have made more shots than they've missed, chances are we need to put them in positions to shoot the ball more. And I just don't think that type of common sense is being exercised with this team right now. You see situations where young guys are hustling to get open. I see situations where THT's hustling to get open, and LeBron James is despondent and getting the ball out of rhythm because of it. It's like, Bron, the boy's behind you, wide open. Turn around and get him the ball. But it's one of those situations where Bron is playing for nothing. He's so, you know, all of this means so much to Bron that you tend to just stop playing the simple sport of basketball. And that's what I think has gotten away from the Lakers this year. It's just for all the politics and all the strategizing, all the different the gambling we did with our roster and the different chances we took with our cap and all this different stuff. Guys have forgotten that the game of basketball is played in between the lines, and I think tonight we saw a prime example of the weight of everything and the losing and the repeated losing just getting to a point where it's just distracted our superstar LeBron James. He's just completely distracted tonight. A step slow. I think that knee's messing with him. He's settling for bad shots. He's not looking for teammates tonight. I mean, just got away from all the things that I said I was happy with seeing him do 3 games ago. I mean, I just don't think there's a consistency about our team as it pertains to what direction we need to go for the rest of the season. They're just continuing to either do the things that didn't work or try things that don't have any chance of working. And then they look around and say, we have nothing, we can't do nothing. It's like, no, the things that you should be trying, you aren't doing. The things that need to be done, you're not attempting. It's like every thought that comes to your mind is the wrong one. And then it's like, you look at Russell Westbrook, you clearly see the man is out there all in his head, completely away from playing well. He's like it's like a Space Jam character who's lost all his talent. Like literally, he looks like that. And you continue to put the ball in his hands and just ask him to run the offense. If a guy is struggling, then it's incumbent upon the people above him to remove him from the situation he's in so that he can't hurt his team and himself. That's why you have coaches. That is their job. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at a coaching staff that's looking around at each other. They're barely even communicating with each other. After a player like Russell Westbrook hoists up a 3-point shot and doesn't hit a damn thing. Guys can't even look each other in the eye because they can't properly respond to the ineptitude that they're seeing from that player. And yet, their ineptitude is just as bad because it's their job to make sure that he's not in a position to do that. I understand there's a lot going on. But the whole dragging of feet as it pertains to stopping the bleeding on different things that this Laker team has dealt with both on the court and above that is just the single reason why we are as bad as we are. It's because when problems arise, people don't do anything to stop the bleeding. And it's like we double down on mistakes. Theses that just clearly don't work. We continue to work those theses. Run small ball. It doesn't work. We don't care because we're running it. What? It doesn't work. You see this every single night we get out rebounded. Every single night we have problems in the paint. You got LeBron James trying to guard Karl Anthony Towns. Karl down there flexing, bumping LeBron. Why would you put LeBron in that situation? Why would you allow one of the greatest players to ever play in the history of the sport to be put in a situation where he has to guard a guy who's 7'3" in the paint, 7'2", whatever height this man is? You're putting Bron in situations to look terrible, and that's what we've done. It's the same thing we did to Kobe. We put all these bad players around him and stuff and tell him to go drag the tank. And whether it's Bron's fault or not, that's not the point. The point is we're the Lakers, and we rostered these people. These inept basketball players who ain't got nothing left are all on this roster because you put them here. So it's our job to get them out of here, and I just don't think the people in position to do so are really certain that they should. So we're going to continue to be bad. They're going to continue to look as bad as they do as a front office. And fans are just going to have to deal with it, basically. And that's unacceptable for us because this ain't what we signed up for. We've been through enough as is, and now we got to deal with this. It's just frustrating, man. It's frustrating. Laker fans are tired, and the product on the floor is not worth our money. It's not worth our time or our money at all. I give credit to the opponent as I always do. They took care of business. A guy like Jared Vanderbilt was extremely impressive with his dirty work antics and things that he does between him and Patrick Beverly. I think this team is going to be very difficult to beat in a 7-game series for any team, whether they're better than them or not. You don't want to have to stare down that team for 7 games. I just want to put that out there. I think there are teams out there more talented than the Wolves, but those 2 key players, you add Josh Okogie too. Those 3 players do so much dirty work, 50-50 ball, offensive rebound, antics, get under your skin type. They do so much of that stuff on the defensive end particularly that I honestly think they could frustrate a team that has more talent than them. You know, when you start thinking about their superstars, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo, Cat, yeah, they're gonna do whatever it is that their talent allows them to do. But what I'm telling you is, it's them back of the bench dudes. It's the Vanderbilts. It's the McLaughlins. It's them dudes that make the Timberwolves a dangerous playoff team. Very dangerous. Think about a Malik Beasley. He shoots threes all day long. If he gets hot in a playoff game, he could be the difference between you getting to the next round and not. So I think they're going to play spoiler for somebody. And if I'm Memphis or Phoenix or somebody, especially if Phoenix is going to have a situation where CP3 ain't healthy, I would love to avoid Minnesota, or I would take them a lot more seriously than maybe I'm projected to based on what it is I just said. Take them seriously. Minnesota is very dangerous. I can't stress that enough. So, yeah, man, we saw a lot of what it is they're capable of doing out there. They're a prideful bunch. They play pretty good defense when they buckle down to it. They're not the most consistent three-point shooting team, but they have key three-point shooters, very key ones, and they can get hot in a hurry. And, you know, that team is going to be a problem, a huge one. And I just think we might be a year or 2 ahead for them. It might be a couple years early, but their playoff experience is going to begin now, and I got a feeling it's going to be a good start. So, yeah, man, that's what I want to say about that, man. I'm not proud of my team at all right now. I'm a Laker fan. I've been a Laker fan since I was 9, and I've had very few times where I've been less proud to be a fan. This is awful. The experience is bad. Watching the games are bad. It's all pessimistic. Fans are fighting with one another, it seems. I'm because we want to support some of the players, but it's indefensible, some of the stuff we're seeing out there from our guys, you know. And it's like you wanna back them, but you just understand that it's not a whole lot to build from. And you can feel bad for Austin Reeves, you feel bad for the young guys, THT, because their careers are not getting off to the start it should. They're surrounded by super duper stars that just aren't thinking about the right things right now. They're not thinking about developing them. They're not thinking about winning. It's just losing and suffering through the feeling of losing. And that's what I see down there. No focus. Just a bunch of dudes getting their heads kicked in and feeling it. And that's unacceptable. There's no fight there. You LeBron James. We supposed to be the big bad wolf. We the bullies. And we the laughing stock right now. We're getting our heads kicked in. Russell Westbrook, for all his struggles and the disappointment of him playing poorly, I think what I'm starting to realize is that it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. He's not getting better. He's not getting more accustomed to what we're doing. He's not falling in place. He's not getting more used to this. This is just a long hell situation for this guy. He's in hell. That's the best way I know how to describe it. And it's not getting any better, so we need to shut him down for the betterment of him, so he can stop him just bumbling over his feet out there and embarrassing himself, and for the betterment of us, for I think more than obvious reasons at this point. He is unplayable. This team is unwatchable, and that is where we're at. Anthony Davis talking about coming back. I don't know why. Why? That is, I think the Lakers are going to ultimately opt to shut him down and the rest of those guys. I really don't think we're bringing back AD. I ain't heard nothing, but I'm telling you, I don't see it happening. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. The Lakers got their heads kicked in by the Minnesota Timberwolves, and we got the Raptors coming up next. Scotty Barnes is gonna do to us what he did the first time. It's just all bad. But I thank y'all for rocking with me. We're in this together, man. L for L, BDF 44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.